getting dark. Okay, well, cool. All right, what's up, everybody? We are gonna go over the little dog story now. Super cute. It's cool. I don't think this one's gonna be too long, which is fine because I've anyway. All right. So let's start it off. So, Neville says that it's an interview. Unexpected result came about an interview. Okay, well, that's a cool way to put a conversation. One afternoon, a young grandmother, brought her 9-year-old grandson, and he explained the law of assumption, describing in detail the procedure to be followed in obtaining an objective. And the boy was listening, and so he assumed the method of assuming the state of consciousness that would be hers, where her desire already fulfilled. Okay, so he said a couple things. He's explaining the procedure to be followed. I'm guessing procedure to be followed. Okay. I think that it's falling asleep because of the way that the sun. Well, we'll see. But I think that was the procedure in question here. The other thing was that he also explained the method itself of assuming the state of consciousness. So he explained the procedure, so the rules, the letter of the law, and then I think he's talking about the spirit of the law, where assuming the actual state of the consciousness, which actually makes it work, Okay. That would be hers. All right. I told the story, so he says a story, which definitely would have helped. And the boy says he wants a puppy, and the grandmother's like, no way, because all these adverse circumstances, they're so important and to pay attention to. And the boy, the child, refused to understand these arguments, which is a good lesson, I think. What is it? Jesus says to be like the little children, just to be like stubbornly obstinate. What? Obstinately stubborn. I think those mean the same thing. Okay. So anyway, this is cool. It's a good mindset to have. All right. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend. Okay, so this is why I thought Neville said that you are to imagine the state desired, or change your state of consciousness to be whatever you want as soon as you fall asleep. That's the story that he told when he was a soldier too. Or that was the method. Excuse me, the procedure. Okay, so as he's going to sleep, he's going to pretend that he's a dog and he's going for a walk. And then grandma's like, no. 6 weeks later, the grandmother told a story about how he got the dog. The boy's desire to own a dog was absorbed in everything and believed implicitly that at last he knew how to get a dog. It's it can be like the smallest things. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have imagine a cup of coffee or anything like that, but it works for everything. So putting this belief many nights, imagine the dog was lying in his bed next to him. So he incorporated the senses here. He's incorporating the sense of touch and feeling the dog's fur. And you know what? I'm turning on the light. Okay, so things like playing with the dog and taking for that. So he's not doing 10 to 15 seconds. It's in imagination. He's incorporating his senses, and as a result, because Neville says in a lot of places that as you assume one idea, other ideas will fill up your mind, and it's okay. Like roll with it. And so things like playing with the dog, taking for a walk, filled his mind. But it doesn't say that he assumed the state. It just says that he in imagination for many nights, he imagined that a dog was lying in his bed beside him. Okay, that's assuming the state of consciousness. Yeah, okay. That's like assuming. All right. So within a few weeks, it happened, and then you guys can read the exact details. I mean, yeah, I'll go over it. I'll go over it. Okay, I'll go over the SparkNotes version. So, newspaper in the city organized a special program in connection to Kindness to Animals Week. So the school children were going to write an essay on how I'd like to own a dog, and then all the entries. Okay, so the boy won the essay contest. Essay? Yeah, essay. How old is he? Write an essay. We don't write essays nowadays in school, right? Assuming that American public education system is in the shitter. Maybe not, but I've heard that it's really gone down. Okay, in an elaborate ceremony, which was publicized. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take that out. Okay, so how old was the boy to write an essay? Different times, huh? Okay. So, more circumstances. The grandmother said that if the boy had been given money, parents would have refused and put it in savings back when bonds were a viable investment. Sound like an old cranky old man. Back in my day. Furthermore, if someone gifted the dog to the boy, then the parents would have refused it. But because of the dramatic manner and it happened, the way that he won the city contest, the stories, the pictures, the pride, the boy, the pride of achievement, and joy of the boy, joy of the boy. The parents found themselves convinced that what the impossible happened, and so they allowed him to keep the dog. And there was one particular dog that the boy wanted all the time. It was a collie, so he got this same exact dog that he wanted. And so just to review here, there were very few variables. Most of this case study was a story. So here, what he did, I'm gonna go over what he did, not over like the adverse circumstances, because that's not important. So the boy listened to the exact detail to be followed, or procedure to be followed, and the method of assuming the state of assuming the state of consciousness that would be hers were her desire already fulfilled. So those two things. Did I write that down? I already said this before. I already talked about this. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is important. This is imagining before drifting off to sleep is not it's not the law of assumption, as Neville says it anyway. Okay, so he didn't say the two things. Two things are so the procedure to be followed in attaining an objective, not what it is. And the second thing was assuming the state of consciousness that would be hers for a desire life. It's that simple. Okay, those two things. And then so a bunch of not important like obstacles happened. He was obstinate, stubbornly obstinate. I'm just going to start saying it now. Okay, so and then he says that every night, just as he's going off to sleep, he's going to pretend he has a dog, and they're going for a walk. And then for many nights he did. Many nights he imagined that a dog was laying in bed beside him, and things things that would be in his mind if he were to own a dog filled his mind. Playing with the dog, taking it for a walk. He imagined actually that a dog was there with him, that he had one. And then it happened. You got the exact same breed that you wanted. Okay. I don't really know how long this next case study is going to be. It's moving to Florida. I think I can go over it fairly soon. Okay, let's try and knock it out. So this fourth one is about the aunt in the story. Okay, so the aunt in the story. All right. So a lady wanted to tell a story about how she successfully used law. It's the background. And okay, so the aunt noticed her niece was terribly upset. The husband of the niece was an officer in the Army Air Force back when it was called the Army Air Force. Had been ordered to active duty in Europe. She was crying because she didn't want to go. She wanted to go to Florida as an instructor, and they both wanted to go to Florida. Okay, the aunt who had been going to the lectures, I didn't read that. Yeah, many lectures and personal consultation with me many times. She's very familiar with the law. So she's first thing she recommended is to immediately apply the law of assumption. Okay, and so this is another method to think about using the law of assumption. Another way to think about it. Man, I can never catch a break with this lighting. That's okay. I didn't bring my stupid lamp, so you guys are just gonna see this. Okay. All right. So I'll stop here for a second. If you were actually in Florida, what would you do? For maybe people that are not as familiar or don't want to think of themselves as like being connected to God or a manifestation of God. And if you don't want to just explain the whole law of assumption thing. Well, I mean, I don't know. You use this particular technique. If it just this is one question. How would it feel where your desire to be realized? See if I can. Does that work? Almost. Oh, it's great. Whatever. Okay. What am I doing here? Okay. So this technique here, this question. If you were in Florida, what would you do? And then so a bunch of sensory stuff comes up. You feel the warm breeze. You'd smell the salt air, and you'd feel your toes sinking in the sand. And they did it right now. And they did it then and there. Okay. So if this helps, this is a technique here. If you were to be actually in Florida, if you were to actually be in Florida, what would you do? And then, okay, well, if I were in Florida, then this would this would happen, this would happen, etc. Okay, this is a technique. All right, so they took off the machines and turned out the lights. Okay, this is another thing. So this can help in this technique. For example, because they feel their toes sinking in the sand, you're gonna take all their shoes. So if you have some kind of sensory thing. So let's make another example here. If you were to be rich, what would you be doing? I would be living in a different place, and I'd I don't know, feel like your favorite kind of carpet underneath your feet. I don't know. So you would take off your shoes so that you can more easily feel that. Whatever works for you. Like I said, these are techniques. Taking off your shoes, turning out the lights. You don't have to do that. You just have to worry about changing your state of consciousness and your concept of self. Imagination. All right. So in imagination, they felt themselves in Florida, feeling all these things, like as if they were actually in Florida. And then 48 hours later, the husband received a change of orders. So quick. I don't know if there's anything else was done here. I don't know what the beliefs of the niece were. But all we know is that it started with this question. Now it was like, we got to use a law of assumption. What would you do if you're in Florida? How would it be like? And then they did it. They felt themselves actually in Florida. Now here's another Okay. Okay, I guess a couple important points that I forgot. So there was no sleeping. Okay, okay, so that that proves that this is a technique, um, because it worked. I mean, it didn't say that there wasn't any sleeping, but I don't know why he would leave something like that out. We can only assume we weren't there. We don't know. Um, okay, and even though the aunt was there with the niece. Okay, I think this is something about here. Okay, yeah, it's right here. Man, I should have. Okay, so sorry. Let me continue the story. 48 hours later, they got to retrieve the change of orders, and 5 days later, they were on train over there. And okay, here it says, while the aunt, in order to help her niece attain her desire, joined in assuming the state of consciousness. I think I say something about here. No, okay, so where I think that one Bible verse comes to mind, where two are gathered in my name, there I will be, or something like that. And so there's a little bit of research done in the what is the heart? Oh man, if you have time, look up Dawson Church. I think the Heart Mind Institute, I think, is what that thing is called. Heart Mind Institute. I think this is okay. I think this is the one. They actually did. I mean, not particularly strong scientific studies, but they actually measured that people practiced in consciousness related activities like healing and stuff like that. Where two people did it, and then three people, and then four people. Super interesting. If you heart math, yeah, heart math. It's this one. Um, that's the one. That's the one where they did the studies. Super cool. Anyway, so that might be a factor. More than one person. I know that with Joe Dispenza, like there's like crazy stuff that happens with events when everybody's in a particular state. But I am not going to talk about that right now. Okay, so the aunt didn't go, so it's not like if you do, it's not like a mechanical thing. It's based on desire, your own desire. The desire of the aunt was to help. Just because okay, like you law of attraction people, and anybody who may be you know what, I'm just gonna maybe kind of like scared to imagine something, because the law of attraction says that you're gonna imagine whatever you or you're gonna experience whatever you think about. So you have to like not think negatively. It doesn't matter. Okay. The for per the law of assumption, and I believe that you can choose whatever desire helps you. Don't if the law of attraction tenets don't help you, you're your own master, unless you delegate the power to somebody else, like the law of attraction gurus, or the law of attraction like principles or something like that. Okay, you're your own master. Um, okay, so yeah, she did not go. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't the aunt's desire, but it was the intense longing of the niece. Okay, so it says that the niece really wanted to go. Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't think that I have any other crazy points here. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to make that point that the desire manifested as opposed to the action. So the aunt actually felt herself somewhere else, but that didn't happen because that wasn't her intention. It wasn't her desire. So yeah, you can feel yourself. I if a rational thinking person were to take this example and you know uh, whatever take it into their own lives, um, even if you imagine negative things, and it's not healthy to do that for sure. But even if you are to do that, if it's not your desire, if that's not where you live in consciousness, then you don't need to worry about it. and you shouldn't. Okay, there's a lot of people that that have that belief, and it really makes me sad that they are imprisoned in their own mind. Anyway, so in this case, the desire and not the feeling. Good. All right, we're done in about 20 minutes. Cool. Okay, next we're gonna go over the apartment story. This one's cool. Yeah, this one's interesting. So I'll go over that. You'll see it in a few days. See ya. Peace. Love. Take care of each other.